Welcome to our channel, Always Keep Moving. We are Anna and Kelvin. 11 months ago we quit our jobs in Sweden and started our around the world trip. We've been to almost 25 countries. We started in Latin America, then Southern Africa, then the Middle East, then into Southeast Asia. After Southeast Asia we went to Taiwan. Now I used to live here many years ago, so it was great to see the old sites, meet old friends and show Anna where I used to live and where I used to work. From there we went to Nepal and had a great time trekking in the Himalaya, and then after that we had a great 5 weeks travelling through India. Now our very last country, we are in England, in Manchester, seeing the family before we go back to Sweden. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. So today's video is a follow-on from how our last video ended. Yeah, it ended with a bit of a debacle because we were stranded in London because of the train strike. So, in the end, our friends Frida and Chris kindly give us a lift over halfway. They took us to a city called Stoke, and that's about just over an hour's drive from Manchester. So we managed to get a taxi for £90, which was better than 500 that we were quoted in London. So despite, what can I say? You just got to swallow it and do it, really. So we've come off the motorway, we're getting closer to my auntie's place in Salford, and right across the road from her house is her pub where she works, and they are showing the live game. Today's FA Cup final, United against City. My family are all Man United, so I'm looking forward to seeing the family, watching the game with them, and let's hope after the fiasco so far today, it ends in smiles and we win the game.
Watching the Man United Man City game with Kelvin's, all of his relatives and family. My goodness, this is how it feels to watch it with hardcore fans.
As you can see, my mum's side of the family is quite big. We do have a big family. And despite all their noise, cheering United on in a pub not too far from Old Trafford, it never quite went to plan. But I still appreciate them all coming out to see me. So, my mum's sister, my auntie who I'm staying with, we're just leaving her house, walking through the local neighbourhood, on our way to the local supermarket because we turned up to stay with her yesterday and she never even told us it was her birthday. So that slipped through the net without me realising. So that's my bad. I mean, I should have known. But I made a few excuses and sneaked off to the supermarket to get a couple of little presents, I suppose. So we're walking through. Now this is the local park known as Seedley Park. And I class it as an extension of what's known as Buell Hill Park. So we'll walk through the park. It's a nice sunny day, as you can see. We're in a place called Salford, which is technically a different city to Manchester, but it's basically it's part of the same thing. They all blend into each other, really. So we'll be exploring more around here in the forthcoming days. I'll show you the other side of Salford, which leads on to Old Trafford, and then we'll see a few other little small things in and around this area. So we'll just go for a nice walk to Salford Precinct and the supermarket. So, with Sandra's present, we go back to her place, give it to her, say our goodbyes and start wrapping things up, because Sonia and Nikolai are going to come and pick us up, take us over to another Sandra, who is my dad's sister, and we're catching up with all my dad's side of the family from there. Unfortunately, though, we didn't take any pictures or do any filming while we were there, so not a great deal to show you. Unfortunately, all I have is this old picture from many years ago. My mum and my granddad were alive here. Shows you how long ago it was. If that isn't proof, I didn't have grey hair in them days. After the catch up at Sandra and Simon's place, we go back to Sonia and Nikolai's where we're staying. We're on our way to the park. Oi, oi, oi. Go on, guys, you ride your bikes. You're fine, just don't cross the road. Wait, if you get to the road and we're behind, then you have to wait till we come and then we all cross together. Is that okay?
I don't want to ride my bike.
Oh, you want to what? Okay, all right, that's fine, don't worry. Jump down also. Go and show me. Whoa!
So I think we'll get a lovely view over there. Yeah. You can walk all the way to the top of that hill. Lovely. Very pretty over there. That's Peel Tower. There's some lovely walks with the dog. You can go all the way to the top. Only Sonia.
The man who found the police force was born in Bury. So that tower is
show you the view of the rolling hills, the Lancashire Hills. But when you get a right viewpoint, they really are lovely, and of course when the sky is blue and the sun's shining, everything looks better, as we know. So we are at the pub, the Thwaites pub, the Eagle and Child. Typical bizarre name. Okay, and we're going to get some dinner here. Nice country pub, perfect way to spend a summer evening. Whoa, you got it all. Ooh. Ooh. All these old pubs are quaint as quaint can be, like, you know what I mean?
We came here on Christmas Eve.
Oh, really? Okay.
So all the family came up for Christmas Eve dinner. We all came here. And
Yeah.
Big meal. It was lovely. It was really nice. If you look inside, it's like half modern with glass here.
Oh, yeah.
And the back is the old bit of the pub.
Okay, I'll actually go in and have a look out of curiosity, like. So this lovely pub is in a place called Ramsbottom, a village stroke small town, and it's a lovely place, very quaint. We enjoyed a dinner in a nice English country pub on a nice summer's night. Now we're enjoying a nice drive back to Bury, which is a small town about 20-minute drive north of Manchester.
That's Manchester in the distance.
In the distance, yeah.
So Anna,
Yeah.
it's in the distance. Those
Yeah.
that's Manchester.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Back to their place where they get the kids ready for bed as they need an early night. They have school tomorrow. So we're going for a walk in the local park across the road from Sonia and Nikolai's house. And here we are. Nice little duck pond. Nice place to walk your dog. Go for a bit of fresh air. And apparently this place over here is a little cafeteria bit. So we're going to go grab a drink and maybe a bite to eat and go for a little walk around the park.
This cafe is run by HUK Bury, a local independent charity. All profits go to supporting older people living in Bury. We are extremely grateful to all of our volunteers who support our team. If you would like to volunteer, please ask at the counter for more details. Please find out more about our work at www.hukbury.org.uk.
No, I mean, this is just one of many little charity organisations that are sort of non-profit and are just there to do it. And no, I love these kind of places, you know, wherever possible. You know, you could walk down the road and probably find a cafe that's, you know, probably a little bit better for not much more money. But, like, you know, wherever possible, I like to support these kind of shops. You know, yeah, gives them a real social outlet and all that. And for a lot of them, it's the highlight of the week, coming down here and seeing a few friends. It's a nice setting on a little pond just outside. And yeah, so yeah, same again. You know, if there's any of these near where you're living, why not go in and give them a little bit of support? Yeah, no, really glad we came here actually. Okay, now this map shows the whole of Manchester, or what's known as Greater Manchester, which includes all the small suburbs all the way around and the whole metropolitan area. We're staying at Sonia and Nikolai's place, which is in Bury, so about, 10-15k north of Manchester. Now, Bury's just a small little town, that's great. We're going to get the bus and go all the way through this place known as Radcliffe, Whitefield, Prestwich, through Pendlebury into the place here, Salford, which is where my mum's side of the family are from, and that's where we're going to be going today.
It's Kelvin's last haircut before we go home to Sweden again. This time it is number 15 and he is in his hometown, Salford in Manchester in England. So yeah, I guess we've come to a full circle now.
So I got my hair cut at Turkish Barbers on Salford Precinct. Two of my mum's sisters, Joyce and Sandra, picked me and Anna up from there, and we're just driving through Salford, where I grew up, on our way to the cemetery, because we're going to see my mum's and the relatives' graves. If I'm perfectly honest, it was a little bit saddening to see the place looking all neglected, but now it's time for a little bit of a sombre moment as we go visiting the graves. Every time I come home, I like to go to the cemetery and pay our respects, put things down on the graves. So yeah, the problem is, as you get older, there's more and more graves to visit. But yeah, it's one of them jobs you've just got to do whenever you're here.
We're here in Salford with two of Kelvin's aunties, Joyce and Sandra. And we're visiting Kelvin's mother's grave, Mary, who unfortunately passed away way too young, already 2009.
So we spent a sombre couple of hours at the cemetery, seeing all my relatives' graves and paying your respects. So now we are heading back to Bury, back to Sonia and Nikolai's place. We're going to spend our last night with them and the kids, because tomorrow morning we head for the airport. So a brief explanation of where we are. We're actually on the tram going from Bury into Manchester Piccadilly. We've gone through Victoria. We are now going through Piccadilly, past Piccadilly Gardens, heading towards Piccadilly train station. Now Manchester Piccadilly, there we're going to be changing. You can take the tram all the way to the airport, but we're actually going to take the overland train because it's much quicker. So we got off the tram. We are now in Manchester Piccadilly station, which is it's an old building, but it's probably the biggest in Manchester. Yeah, and yeah, we're going platform 13, and our actual overland train, like a real train so to speak, to the airport. You can actually take the tram, but it's much longer, and it goes all through Wythenshawe and all around the houses. So the train's the quickest. Get in this and straight to the airport. So we've just got off the train at the Manchester Airport train station, going through platform 1, terminal 1, and then we'll throw our bags in, and hopefully the flight will be on time. finally, after a fiasco going through security, we finally made it, checked everything round, but actually, some places didn't take cash, some so we ended up in pret-a-porter. And we got what's, for an airport, is probably an okay breakfast. Alright, brekkie time. Hopefully the flight's already a few minutes delayed, hopefully not too much more. We'll see you soon. Time to board our plane to Copenhagen. We're a bit delayed, so we're hoping we only have an hour before the next one from Copenhagen to Gothenburg, so we're just hoping it's not so much of a, not too much more of a delay. It's going to be fine as it is, so hopefully we can make our connection. So we eventually gets on the plane and prepare for takeoff. And yeah, as we say our goodbyes to Manchester, it's pretty much rounding up the whole of a 1 year round the world trip. I know it's sort of a bit surreal really. But yeah, we see Manchester from the air, say our sort of emotional goodbyes. It was great to see the family and see friends. But now the reality's kicking in. We're leaving England. We have a connecting flight in Copenhagen, and then we're coming to Sweden from there, fly to Gothenburg.
Skal du videre til Göteborg, så skal du gå til gate B8, Stavanger.
So as we prepare to land in Copenhagen Airport, we are wrapping today's video up. But in the next video, we are starting from Copenhagen Airport, where we have a connecting flight, and then flying back home to Gothenburg and Sweden. You don't want to miss that.